Hey everybody, Spaceman here with another episode of Spaceman Climbs. And this is episode 2 of season 2 of Spaceman Climbs. And my opponent, as you can see, is named Jason, and he is in the southeast corner of Tyrannus Stand as Orc. And I am playing Night Elf, well I'm playing random, and I drew Night Elf in the northwest corner of Tyrannus Stand. So, for those of you unfamiliar with my strategies or what I like to do, I'm always kind of offbeat, but one of my favorites with Elf is to go mass tier 1 against Orc. I'm a huge fan of it. I love experimenting with it. It gets a little tricky, but I really think there's a lot of legitimacy to the plan, or to mass tier 1. So already I know that's probably what I'm going to be trying to accomplish this game. So I built my Ancient of War here, which is obviously a mistake, right? You're supposed to build it here so that you can power creep. And the reason I chose not to do that is because I'm not that confident in my micro right now. I feel like I do that kind of stuff against Orc, and the Blademaster or the Farseer come in and harass me, and I end up losing my Archer. I lose some Wisps, they get the creep jack. I don't know, I'm just not confident in my ability. And on top of that, by having the Ancient of War way out there, your base isn't going to be sealed off, and then the Blademaster can get in behind and kill Wisps. And I understand that the meta has changed a little bit since I was playing a lot before, so you do see more Farseers now and fewer Blademaster firsts, and I guess the Farseer's Wolves can get behind, so that is, you know, it's not as important these days to get a wall off, but I wanted to, again, because I'm playing a little scared of the Blademaster. Anyway, I'm going Keeper of the Grove first. He's trendy. He's really good right now. I wanted to have a hero that could creep early, so you're going to see I get Force of Nature first, so that I can just comfortably clear out the green camps and not take much damage. And I'm going Archers, because my play to start right now is not to immediately go mass tier 1. I'm just going to go standard, one more Archers. I'm going to get an early tech off, and I'm going to try and get through the early game like most Elf players do, except I'm doing it without power creeping, so even safer, really. The game plan will then be at tier 2, or while I'm teching to tier 2, I'll throw down another Ancient of War in a Hunter's Hall. So I hit tier 2, I'll be able to get my second hero, I'll be able to start pumping out Archers and Huntresses from 2 Ancient of Wars, and I'll use that to move into an expansion as I'm hitting around 50 food. So that's a game plan here. I easily creep out the first camp, and I get a Hood of Cunning, or Cloak of Shadows. I wish it was a Hood of Cunning. And we can see the Blademaster is in here harassing me. And this is trouble. I don't know if he has gotten any kills on my Treants yet, but he's definitely going to steal this and get a Potion of Invulnerability. So that was really big for him. I'm now able to come in. I have 2 Archers still, which is pretty strong. You don't usually, like a lot of the time, you see players just getting the 1 Archer. 2 Archers with 2 Treants is going to be enough to hopefully push back this Blademaster, and we're seeing that's what's happening right now. I'm sure I'll shift focus onto the Grunt momentarily. This is a missed opportunity for a surround, but it would have been tough once the Blademaster came back in. So he starts going for Archers. I know he doesn't have any dust on him, so I hide them both, and he can't do much about it. And we're in a relative stalemate right now. I've got some experience. He's probably got more experience. Let's see, what does he have? We've got almost identical experience, if not identical. He has the better item. I'm pretty far through my tech. I'm feeling good about that. Let's see where he is. He's about the same as me. So it's seeming like a pretty standard game, except he's got a slight upper hand. He's on the offensive. He's managed to steal an item. But I'm feeling comfortable enough. Blademaster shows up again to get an Archer, but he still doesn't have dust, so I'm going to be able to hide again, which is great. I turn around maybe a little later than I should have. I could have noticed that a little earlier, but no big deal. And now I'm pumping out Archers. So, like I had said before, I am going for the mass tier 1 strategy. I'm not staying on tier 1, but tier 1 units are what I want. So Archers are going to continue coming for a while. I think a major mistake players make when trying to do this version of the mass tier 1 is that they go for Huntresses too early. And while Huntresses are amazing, and if you're going 2 Ancient Wars and pumping them out, that's one thing. if you start going, like if you're playing for the long game with it and you want to expand off it and start controlling the map, then really archers are where your damage output comes from. They're cheaper, so you can get them out faster, and you only will need a couple huntresses along with your treants to hold the front line for a little while. So that's why I'm prioritizing archers. I'm sure huntresses are going to start coming out soon enough. This is an easy creep camp for me. I'm throwing down Moonwell to get me to 50, an Ancient of Wonder, and I'm building a Priestess. Why a Priestess? Aurora and Scout. Aurora is amazing. Master 1 Priestess is, it's almost hard not to get her just because of the damage output your army gains with her being around. Searing Arrows is another amazing spell and really ups the Priestess's damage output, but I know I'm against a Blademaster. Again, my idea here is to max out or get an 80 of 80 army of mass tier 1, get an expansion, control the map, and in order to do that, Scout is going to be incredibly helpful. Right? It's essentially a map hack. I will always have enough mana on my Priestess. I will always be able to have a Scout checking all of the expos. I will be able to just right-click it, especially once I get level 2 Scout. You just right-click the Blademaster with the Owl, and it's fast enough to follow him everywhere. You're never going to be surprised by a Blademaster again. It's incredibly helpful. So here I start the creep, and he shows up to creep Jack. So this could be trouble. I do get the important kill in the Crystal Ball, which is nice. He goes straight for my Keeper, which is an orc thing to do, but it seems a little greedy. So I'm putting some damage on the Shadow Hunter, and I use Hide on the Keeper, which is great. He still hasn't bought Dust, which is a major mistake. And I'm able to get a Grunt kill. Yeah, this is a definite blunder on his part. He's putting too much damage on the creeps there. Now I get another Grunt kill. Am I going to get the Blademaster kill? No. I'm going to get the Shadow Hunter kill. So this was a really big fight for me, right? He got my Keeper. That I was upset there. I was playing this on stream, and that one bothered me. I knew that was a mistake. He got my Keeper, and he got out alive. So I was a little upset with myself there, but at the same time, I killed several Grunts. I killed a Shadow Hunter. I drew out that Invulnerability Potion. I know his army is not that big right now, and it's absolutely bought me the time to build this expansion. I know he can't stop it now. That's why I'm going to creep this, but you'll see I'm going to quickly move out to creep this, and I'll play defensively, but he doesn't have an army, so I know I don't have to stand right next to my base. If just the Blademaster shows up, hopefully I'll be able to cancel on time. Get there on time to prevent him from canceling it, I'm sorry. But you'll see I'm also using my Scout. I'm going to place it right here. So if the Blademaster runs by to attack, I will see him coming. If the Blademaster comes by this way to attack, I obviously will see him coming as well. Unless he's invisible, but hopefully he would be distracted by my Creep Jack rather than going to the expansion. That's my thought process, and you'll see I'm easily able to take this. He's not going to do anything about it. So I think a lot of people's instincts after a fight like that, or a skirmish where you really get a couple big unit kills, would be to go on the offensive and attack. And you could definitely make a point for it, but orc bases are tough. You never know with a Blademaster Shadow Hunter. There's a lot of, I have to walk a long way to get there. Look, he's building a watchtower, which does amazing along with burrows against huntresses, so it would have been tough. I would have had to, it would have become a really micro-intensive rest of the game. And instead, I'm just playing calm. I know I have map control. I know my expansion is going to get up. I'm at 46 of 50 food. I'm starting to get a good number of huntresses out. Again, not too many. I'm going to use them as a meat shield for my archers. Huntresses are not great meat, but they get by, and archers really, the damage output from archers is always, it's more than people anticipate it being. So I build summon another Scout, just so I know the Blademaster's not creepjacking me. I had scouted this, and I saw pretty standard, but going tier 3, so I wasn't quite sure what to expect with the tier 3 tech. Maybe a third hero, maybe Tauren, maybe, something else, but again, I'm feeling very comfortable. Meanwhile, I'm still tier 2. I'm throwing down 2 more Moonwells, so I will be at 80 of 80 or a max of 80 food. I'm going to try to creep this out comfortably, and again, you can see I'm being very safe. I'm not engaging in here and letting all these piercing units and the lightning shields get in on my clumped up units, right? Instead, I'm pulling him out here. This way, if the Blademaster tries to run by in any direction, I will see him. He's not getting to my base this way, or any army. I'm vulnerable here, but now my base is up, so I'm not too worried about him being able to get in anyway. But this is to minimize the damage my army will take. And I think I do a good job of it here. Granted, my army is very weak, so I'm going to go immediately now. My gold is starting to come in because I have my expo. Well, my gold's piling up because I've been sitting at 50, just under 50 food. But it's really going to start coming in shortly. But I want to buy a Scroll of Healing immediately, just to, you know, everything's too weak. Why dance with the devil, right? So that's what my thought process is here. And immediately I'm going to start jumping over 50 food because, oh, Blademaster shows up. Immediately I'm going to jump over 50 food because now my gold's coming in. I am still going mass tier 1, and the bigger my army is, obviously the more damage output. What am I trying to say? Because I'm going mass tier 1, I really need a big army. I don't have time to sit on my gold. If a 50-50 orc army crashes with my 50-50 tier 1 army at tier 2, it's going to be really tough. It's going to be bad for me. That's why I really need to pump up immediately right now to 60, 65, 70. Obviously, it would be nice to be getting the 20 gold a second as opposed to the 14 you get once you're in upkeep on 2 bases, but there's no time for that. Once you have your bases running, immediately just build units. So there's my Scroll of Healing. Saves this Huntress because I do get here on time. Blademaster is going to be forced back. I get an entangle. I'm going to throw some damage on. And then you'll see I anticipate him going this way, and he goes that way. So he gets away. There's not much I can do about it. I have 2 level 3 heroes against his 2 level 3 heroes. My scout was misclicked. That should be following the Blademaster, but yeah, mistakes are going to happen. Also, my Mana Stone should of course be on the Keeper. That's a big oversight. But again, I am not a professional player. So now I'm moving out. I know I don't have the biggest army right now. Like 55 is probably not that strong. I know the Blademaster is trying to buy time and creeping with the Shadow Hunter. That's why he showed up, just trying to harass and scout it out. But I don't think he's expanded, so I think I'm still ahead there, and so I'm going to try to secure my advantage by creeping again and getting as close to 80 food as possible. Getting some attack upgrades, and I use my crystal ball and see that he's just finishing his expansion, which is troubling, right? I haven't had mine up for that much longer than he's had his. Notice also I'm on 3 Ancient of Wars now that I'm on 2 bases. But I see this is up. I know the income's going to start coming, and with my Owl Scout, I see I'm against Tauren, and these are just Spirit Walker initiates, I should say, not masters. So I wasn't worried about that just yet, but I think I see it coming. Here, I'm creeping this. Again, I'm going to pull them out to sustain as little damage as possible. I'm using my Owl Scout. Look at that. Killed the Sentry Ward, which could have been trouble. But the Blademaster can't sneak up on me. I'm using this Owl Scout to follow his army, so I know exactly where he is. And now, I see what he's doing, right? He's going up. He's going to try to attack my base. He wants to force me to teleport back, and that's a great play. That's exactly what he wants to do. But I see it coming because of my Owl Scouts, and so I react by putting pressure on his expansion. And this is an expansion I can definitely take down, but I'll sustain a lot of losses. My Huntresses are going to melt to the fortified towers. Archers, again, deal a lot of damage, but I have to be very careful with positioning. So I see him teleporting in, and I immediately back off. And now we're in a pretty... It's an interesting position, right? He's got tier 3 tech. He's got adepts now. I'll just tell you, he does get masters. So he's got tier 3 orc against my tier 1 elf. We're both on an expansion. I think I'm ahead in army size. Let's see, 78. He's probably at 54. So I'm quite ahead in army size right now. But I was definitely hesitant about engaging under towers with this army. It could be trouble. So I'm using my Owl Scouts to keep tabs on his army and his hero again. All right, Fog of War is on right now, and I know exactly where he is, and because he's there, I know I can come and put some more pressure here. I have to destroy my Sentinel, but I want it to open space, and I'm able to force him back. He's repairing. I guess he's wasting resources. It's nice that his expansion's holding. He's doing a good job, but I think I'm doing a good job also of keeping him at bay and putting pressure on. Let's see over here. I'm finally teching to tier 3. I did pick up a shredder because I was low on wood. Some more upgrades. This has not been rallied, so I'm missing a bunch of units, which is a shame. But either way, I'm feeling relatively confident going into this engagement. He doesn't have that many units. I get an entangle off on the Tauren, but he's going to be very quick to cast a spell. Healing Wave is nice. The Raider's going to drop. But look at how quickly my Huntresses die. 2 down, 3 down. Archers are going to start going. And all of a sudden here I'm afraid. I was taking too much damage. The Pulverize was really, really hurting me. So I got out of there. And he definitely had the upper hand in that fight. That did not go well for me. So I'm sure I should be summoning an Owl Scout right now to go and scout this out. But instead, I'm focusing on healing, redistributing my army, building my control groups, you know, that micro taxing stuff that or APM taxing stuff that we all sometimes struggle with. So there goes my Owl Scout. I'm regrouping. And my thought process, I even said this on stream. I played this on stream. Check me out on stream, guys. Spaceman Rambles, if you're ever looking. But I'm going to answer these Tauren by massing more archers. Huntresses, again, they're just going to be the meat shield. I just need a couple out there to sustain the first couple hits from the Tauren. I know they're going to die. I'm not going to be able to keep them alive, and that's fine. As long as my archers can continue to put damage out, I think I'm going to be able to, at least with proper positioning, gain the upper hand in these battles. So that's my thought process. I do have a level 4 Priestess, which is great. So look at my archers. They're dealing a max of 28 damage per attack, which is pretty insane. And now I don't even have 3 upgrades. I don't even have marksmanship. And those will also increase, obviously, the archer damage output. As soon as I saw the Tauren, though, I did have a lot of gold stockpiled. Because I have a shredder, I had some wisps I didn't need that were eating up my food limit. And you never know, right? We're both on 2 base. I am hoping to go for 3 base. I figured I'm going to throw down build the remaining tech structures, so I'm ready for a change if I need to. So I threw down 2 wins, and I'm building Druid of the Talon. Great against Tauren, right? He'll have to waste the spells on cheap fairy fires, and armor reduction will just indirectly buff the damage of my archers. So that's why I was doing that. And I built the lures down here, which he's canceling, but that's okay because I still was able to get these up. And let's see. I'm at 77, he's at 60. So I'm still way ahead in terms of army size because I'm able to pump out units so quickly. I'm pretty good on upgrades, 2 and 1 to his 1 and 0. And here's an engagement. So a lot of damage output from my archers. Look at his Blademaster go down. Look at that. That's not even with focus fire. He's forced to use his invulnerability potion. My Huntresses are going down quickly, but they've done what they needed to do. The Tauren are dropping. This Tauren's going down, half health, half health. He's entangled. We're going to start seeing some resurrects, but there's not much he can do. Big healing potion on the Blademaster brings him back to full health. My heroes are taking some damage. My entire front line is gone, but he's had to spend all his mana. Ooh, I killed the Blademaster, which was huge. People always underestimate the damage of archers focusing him, along with the entangling roots and the fairy fire. I pick off the Blademaster. And now he's obviously not too happy about that. He goes for my keeper, and he's close. He's dealing a lot of damage, but I am able to pull him away. I get another kill on a Tauren, and the Orc player teleports out. So that fight went incredibly well for me, right? I've got both my heroes alive. I hit level 5 on the Priestess. Am I going attack upgrades? Not yet. Building Chim Roosts because what counters Tauren? Chims, obviously. I'm not going to get a lot of them, but I want to be prepared for everything. And again, I had that gold surplus. I'm building a couple huntresses now to rebuild my meat shield. Although I don't want a lot, it's very important to have, I want to say five or six huntresses is probably ideal for these kind of situations, at least in my opinion. So that's what I'm going to be building for. I think I have 4 Druid of the Talon, 2. Do I build 2 more? I probably build 2 more. 1 Chim and the rest archers. I still don't think I've researched marksmanship. I think that's a blunder on my part. I definitely have Moonglaives, I have Sentinel, I have Longbows. Longbows is incredibly important when you're doing this kind of strategy as well. You need longbows as early as you can. Obviously, if you have 2 archers, don't get it, but you need, if you have a sizable group, they are so much better with longbows. Such a good upgrade. My scout is, again, scouting out my opponent's base. I see what he's got. He's level 4-4 to my level 5-4. I know he's got his expansion running still. I'm using owls to continue scouting stuff out. Also my crystal ball. Keeping tabs on where my opponent is. I know he's here, so I'm feeling very comfortable creeping this camp. Of course, my priestess shouldn't be here. She's sapping experience away from my keeper of the grove, and she doesn't gain any after level 5, but I guess I was lazy about it. She also still should not have this. And healing wards. Healing wards are amazing. I was very, very happy to have picked up healing wards. I don't know how I screwed this up. Both of my owls are idling. 2 more Druid of the Talon. Come on. Keep being sloppy about that. And I have 1 gem, and I'm researching Corrosive Breath. I just want to siege him out. Now I can force the fight. I can just sit here, attack his main, and he's going to have to do something about it, right? So we're coming into another big fight. I have Vision of his hero, excuse me, and I'm very soon going to have Vision of his army. Throwing some treants at him. I'm going to force the fight here with my army. Let's see, he's 3-0 with Master Spirit Breakers, excuse me. And I am 2-2 with some Druid of the Talon, mostly archers, a couple huntresses. Only 3 huntresses now. I do have Force of Nature research as well. Let's see. 31. Why are we not seeing my Tree Shadow Aura bonus? Because they're hidden? There we go. 31 plus 8. 39 damage each archer could be doing. How insane is that? Each of those archers is dealing less damage than a Tauren, but still, that's going to add up so quickly. So now I've taken out his expansion. I know I'm very comfortable at this point. I have complete map control. I'm bringing in the remaining units I had forgotten about. I can see his army. I know he's got Bat Riders, so I'm not going to be getting any more Chimeras, at least for now. It's Chimera. I'm not confident in my pronunciation, but I'm going to stick with Chims. I really got what I needed out of this was to be able to force the fight at his expansion. And now I've taken it. I am over here scouting this out. I haven't scouted this one out yet, but the plan is for these 2 wisps, which are going to max me at 100, are going to go out, build a tree. I'm going to choke him out. Anyway, I am at 80 of 80 food. He is at 72 of 70, so I'm ahead. I have superior hero levels. I probably have superior items as well. So things are looking good going into this final fight. That said, I am again against Tauren and Master Spirit Walkers against Tier 1. Immediately, that's going to go down. My Huntress line gone immediately, but these Tauren are taking damage. The resurrects start coming, but it's just, there's nothing you can do. Look at how quickly these Tauren die, especially with the fairy fire too. Everything's gone. I teleport out with my keeper just because I didn't want him to die, but I knew that was a safety teleport. He knows it's over, I know it's over, and I believe my opponent's going to leave the game right now. Yeah, there he goes. And I took it down. So that was a good game. I think it demonstrates a lot of how the Mass Tier 1 can work against Orc. And it was interesting that I was against Tauren, because you don't get to see that every day. It was fun. I went down a little bit early. When he got the early creepjack on me, I definitely gained a lot of ground when he came to creepjack me at my gold mine, though, and I killed several grunts and his hero for my keeper. But it was good. I just played a very calm, strategic game from there. I choked him out, and I think this game really shows also the benefits of vision. Priestess of the Moon is obviously the best hero in the game for it, but vision is so essential to winning at Warcraft. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I promise my next episode will not be another Night Elf game. I don't want to exclusively post Night Elf games, but this one was fun, and I felt it would be a good one to show. Either way, thank you for watching. As always, any questions, comments, or criticisms are always welcome. I'm happy to hear from you. I look forward to hearing from you. And, until next time, good luck out there, and have a great rest of your day.